In the heart of the British monarchy, where every word is scrutinized and every action is measured, Princess Diana's life stands out as a haunting tale of courage, defiance, and heartbreak. The world watched as she navigated the turbulent waters of royal life, her struggles often masked by a veneer of perfection. But what if the true story behind Diana's tragic passing had been hidden all along? What if the revelations contained in Queen Elizabeth's secret diary could rewrite the narrative we've long believed? Alleged entries in the Queen's private diary hint at chilling secrets, whispered fears, mysterious warnings, and deep-rooted conflicts within the royal family. These entries, said to have been written in the years leading up to Diana's death, provide a rare glimpse into the private struggles of the royal family, offering new perspectives on Diana's life and the complex relationship she shared with the monarchy. Diana, often referred to as the People's Princess, was much more than the glamorous figure the public adored. She was a woman who fought to maintain her identity in a world that demanded conformity. The Queen's rumored diary entries reportedly described Diana's entry into royal life as anything but a fairy tale. It was a battle to find her place within a family that had strict expectations, a family that valued tradition and duty above all else. According to the rumored accounts, Diana was seen as the perfect match for the royal family, a beautiful, charismatic young woman who could embody the image of grace and perfection. However, this view of her failed to acknowledge her individuality. Diana, like all human beings, was not just a symbol of royal dignity, she was a woman with her own thoughts, emotions, and desires. Her struggle was not just against the pressures of the royal family, but also against a system that viewed her as a piece in a much larger puzzle, a piece that had to fit perfectly within the monarchy's image. The Queen's alleged diary entries suggest that, despite Diana's public persona as the perfect princess, her private life was fraught with loneliness and isolation. The constant pressures of royal duties left little room for Diana to express herself authentically. She reportedly grappled with the overwhelming weight of expectations, and her efforts to break free from the constraints of royal protocol often put her at odds with the institution that demanded her obedience. The Queen, according to these entries, struggled to reconcile her admiration for Diana's compassion and her frustration with the disruption that Diana's approach caused to the royal routine. The tension between the two women grew as Diana's warmth and openness, celebrated by the public, were seen as a challenge to the monarchy's more reserved and formal traditions. The royal family, in its efforts to maintain an image of perfection, often clashed with Diana's authenticity. She was not content to simply fulfill her duties, she wanted to make a real difference in the world. Diana's humanitarian work, her hands-on approach to charity, her focus on landmine victims, and her efforts to destigmatize mental health issues, was groundbreaking. But her actions did not always align with the royal family's more controlled and formal approach to charity work. The Queen's alleged reflections in her diary suggest that Diana's work, while admirable, was viewed with a mixture of admiration and concern. Diana's ability to connect with ordinary people, her ability to make the monarchy feel more accessible, was seen as both a gift and a threat. The monarchy, with its carefully constructed image, was not prepared for the level of emotional openness Diana brought to the public eye. She was not just a royal figure, she was a symbol of a new kind of royalty, one that was relatable, compassionate, and deeply human. But this very authenticity became a source of tension. The monarchy's traditional image was one of stoicism and control, and Diana's approach was seen as a challenge to that image. The Queen, according to these rumored diary entries, may have seen Diana's actions as disruptive to the institution, even as she admired the impact Diana was having on the public. Diana's refusal to conform to the traditional expectations of the royal family placed her in a position where she was constantly at odds with the very system she had married into. Behind the royal smiles and the polished public image, there were growing cracks in Diana's marriage to Prince Charles. These alleged diary entries paint a picture of a relationship that was fraught with complexities, personal struggles intertwined with the pressures of royal life. The Queen, according to the rumors, was aware of the tensions between Diana and Charles long before the world learned of them. The diary reflects a monarch who was deeply concerned about the strain in their relationship, yet also determined to preserve the appearance of harmony for the sake of the royal family. The rumored entries describe hushed conversations and meetings where the royal family attempted to maintain the facade of a happy, united front. But the truth, as these diary entries suggest, was far from the perfect image they presented. Diana's struggles were not just personal, they were a reflection of the larger challenges within the monarchy itself. The institution's rigid structure, its insistence on tradition and protocol, clashed with Diana's desire for individuality and authenticity. The result was a cycle of conflict and misunderstanding, leaving Diana to face many of her challenges alone. One of the most haunting aspects of the Queen's alleged diary entries is the glimpse they offer into Diana's fears. Diana, according to the rumors, often voiced concerns about being monitored and manipulated. These fears were reportedly fueled by the constant scrutiny she faced from the media, but also by a deeper sense of paranoia about the intentions of those around her. The diary neither confirms nor denies these fears, but presents them as part of Diana's inner turmoil. Were these concerns simply a product of the intense stress she was under, or was there more to them? The question lingers, adding an element of mystery to Diana's life and legacy. The Queen, in her reflections, reportedly expressed both sympathy and frustration toward Diana, recognizing the pressures she faced, but also struggling to understand her unique approach to life. The most chilling passages in the Queen's alleged diary reportedly deal with the events surrounding Diana's tragic death on August 31, 1997. The night Diana and her companion, Defame, attempted to evade the paparazzi, ending in a high-speed car crash, remains one of the most talked-about moments in modern history. The Queen's diary allegedly reflects on the unanswered questions that continue to haunt that night. Why were none of the surveillance cameras along the route recording? Why was a driver with a high blood alcohol level entrusted with such important individuals? These are questions that remain unresolved. Adding to the mystery are the rumors of Diana's premonitions. She reportedly confided in close friends that if she ever died in a car crash, it would not be an accident. These fears, combined with the Queen's rumored reflections, create a haunting narrative that leaves viewers questioning what truly happened on that fateful night. Was Diana's death simply a tragic accident, or was there something more sinister at play? In the aftermath of Diana's death, her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, became the living embodiment of her legacy. The Queen's alleged diary entries reflect on their journey, emphasizing their efforts to honor their mother's memory while navigating their own royal responsibilities. Diana's influence is evident in their actions, from William's focus on mental health and homelessness to Harry's work with veterans. Both princes have embraced causes that mirror their mother's compassion, ensuring that her legacy lives on through their work. The Queen's rumored reflections suggest that Diana's death forced the monarchy to confront the need for change. Diana's authenticity and emotional openness resonated deeply with the public, creating a stark contrast to the royal family's traditional stoicism. This contrast led to an internal reckoning, as the monarchy struggled to adapt to a modern world increasingly focused on empathy and connection. Diana's legacy, as described in these diary entries, forced the royal family to acknowledge that their carefully maintained image no longer reflected the values of a rapidly changing society. The question remains, did Diana's compassion and individuality represent a triumph of authenticity over tradition, or did they expose the deep cracks in the monarchy's foundation? The Queen's alleged diary entries suggest that Diana's legacy was both a challenge and a gift. Her ability to connect with the public reshaped the monarchy's image, making it more relatable and accessible. But it also forced the royal family to reckon with its own limitations and struggles to adapt. As we look back on Diana's life, we are left with more questions than answers. Was her death a tragic accident? Or was there more to the story? And what does her legacy truly represent? Is it a triumph of individuality over conformity? Or does it reveal the cost of standing up for one's beliefs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're intrigued by the mysteries surrounding the royal family, don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating insights.